You found out that your hair is thinning. Maybe someone's pointed it out to you. Maybe you've seen it in CCTV. Maybe someone's taken a photo of you and you've seen where the light is shining to your scalp. That wasn't there before. You start worrying. You start to worry that you're thinning, that you're going bald. But surely you're too young for this. You're 17, 18, 19. This can't be happening to you yet. You start to panic. You think everyone's going to notice. You think you're going to look weird with thinning hair. You think people are going to look at your thin spot all the time. If you're in class, you think people are going to point it out to you, laugh at you, tease you for it. None of the other guys in your class are starting to go bald yet, so why is it happening to you? You think, you know what, I'm going to have to wear a hat. I can't afford Rogaine yet, I'm a teenager, I don't have a job. Can't afford a hair transplant yet, I'm just going to have to wear caps. And I'm going to have to deny anything to do with my hair thinning. That's what you're thinking. The worry's setting in. I can tell you this because it happened to me. I started to lose my hair when I was around 18 or 19. I was a teenager as well. And the first time someone pointed out to me, it was my mum. Very innocently, I was just picked something up off the floor. As I picked something up, she could see where my crown was and that my hair was starting to go thin at my crown. And I know how it is for you guys. As soon as someone tells you or points it out to you, you can't stop thinking about it. You start to get the mirror and you start to look at the back and think, you know what, is that thinning? Is it, or is it just the way my hair is? Is it parted in a certain way? Can I get a hairstyle which just sort of covers it and makes it appear better? I thought of loads of different reasons as to why my hair was starting to go thin. Loads of excuses, should I say. One of them was that I thought I had a really wide crown, which meant that you could see my scalp. That didn't explain why I didn't have a wide scalp before, or a wide crown. I was simply coming up with excuses and denying the obvious, that my hair was thinning. So I'm here to tell you guys my message and how to deal with it, because I know so many young guys, so many teenagers are in the same boat that I was in a few years ago. And my very first instruction to you boys is to not panic. And you're probably thinking, Mike, what do you mean, not panic? I'm starting to lose my hair, I'm a teenager. Of course I'm going to panic. For some people, their whole identity up until they start thinning has been their hair. Maybe you've always been that guy who's done your hair in a certain way. You've experimented with different hairstyles. Everyone always compliments you because you've got good hair. And now, all of a sudden, your life is in tatters because your hair is thinning. You don't think you'll be able to do all these hairstyles anymore. Your whole identity is disappearing along with your hair. What do you mean, don't panic? Well, let me tell you, from someone who's been through the journey, and I've said on my channel before that there's stages to the balding process. Once you get to the final stage, the acceptance stage, when you look back, you realize that you've got a new identity once you start going bald. It happens for a reason. Of course, you're not going to have the same identity as you did when you had hair. It doesn't work that way. So, my first instruction is don't panic. Now I know and I understand that it's very natural to want to go and Google and to search solutions, what products can help out, looking at the reviews, maybe looking at other YouTube videos and seeing what other people have said on this topic. And of course you want to do that because you want to keep hold of the hair that you've got, especially if it's played a big part in your life. You don't want to let go. You think you're too young to let your hair go, right? But by doing that, you are staying in the denial phase. And I've talked about the denial phase before. And the longer you stay in the denial phase, the longer it's going to take for you to actually come to terms with your thinning hair, for it not to cause you worry all the time, to not give you anxiety, because I know the feelings that thinning hair can give you. You never had these problems before, but now you've got anxiety because you're worried about people pointing out your thinning hair. You think you don't look as good. You even think that you're not going to be able to date anymore. Might not be able to find a girlfriend. And that the reason why is because for our whole lives, we've been fed negative stereotypes regarding bald guys, thinning hair, baldness in general, through adverts, through the media, through social media in particular is one of the worst. And that guys have to look a certain way. And people who don't think that body image or appearance affects guys, it does. And hair loss is a clear indicator of that. So couple the fact that you've been fed negative stereotypes of bald guys all your life, and that on the flip side, companies are trying to prey on your insecurities by trying to advertise and target products to you that will reduce your hair loss, reverse it, slow it down. They know exactly how to target you. They are preying on your insecurities. I've talked about this in the past. Okay, that's what they will do. So you've got to watch out for that. And that's why I say don't panic. Because when you're in the panic stage, it's very easy to get caught up in trying to find the solutions and not think rationally. Now, what do I mean by thinking rationally? Well, let me put it to you. Have you ever seen a bald guy, or really on a very rare occasion, ever seen a bald guy who looks bad with a bald head? No, because you just accept them for who they are. And that's what people are going to accept you for if you shave your head. So the route that I advocate is to shave your head to help overcome your hair loss anxiety. Even if you don't want to go full shave straight away, buzz cut it down, see how it looks. You can do it in stages, right? There's ways to do it, but today's video is just about the overall message. And the first message is don't panic. You can overcome this, guys. There is hope here. You do not have to stay in this anxious, worried stage all your life. The only way you'll stay there is if you allow yourself to stay there. And don't do that, because that worry and anxiety will take away from all the other aspects of your life, okay? After the don't panic stage and you start thinking rationally, you think, okay, hair loss is 99% of the time genetic. There's nothing you can do about that. Yes, sometimes it can be caused by stress. It can be caused by, health issues, for example, but that's the minority, not the majority. The majority, the vast, vast majority of hair loss is genetic, okay? So first of all, there's not much you can do about that. Your body is telling you that's what was going to happen. So you have to deal with the ball that's been thrown at you, okay? So that's the second stage. We have to deal with the situation we're in. That's the sort of masculine thing to do, is try and deal with the situation that you're in, accept it, and then try and come up with solutions from that, okay? So you need to accept it. The way that I advocate for accepting it is by shaving it off. At the start, when I first started making videos, I thought the only solution was to shave it off. I've realized it's whatever gives you confidence, okay? For me, I always think shaving your head off will give you the most confidence because you are fully embracing your situation. For example, if you get a hair transplant, you're relying on that hair transplant to give you confidence, okay? Even stuff like hair fibers or finasteride and minoxidil, you're gonna have to keep using those products on your hair to give you confidence. And as soon as you come off those products, I feel like your confidence will be lost with the loss of those products. Whereas if you just accept your bald head for what it is, you're always gonna have that and you can rock the bald head look. So it's accepting it and it's thinking rationally. Now, once you've been through that process, okay, you'll realize how much worry and stress you put on hair loss and that you shouldn't have done. So that worry and energy, once you shave your head, starts to alleviate, or at least that's what I would hope would happen. And then you can start putting that energy towards other things, other self-improvement. Now, it's important to, I think, always try and self-improve and better yourself. So start going to the gym, start improving your social skills. Whilst you're worrying about your thinning hair, that takes the attention away and your energy away from doing those things and doing self-improvement. So that will be my third step. Focus on self-improvement once you accepted your hair loss situation. And I suppose the last thing I want to say, guys, is that it's a hopeful message, okay? I know that once you're in the depth of your hair loss worry, you sometimes can't think of any way out. You think you're just going to stay in this negative emotion, in this negative situation the whole time. And you think, especially if you're a teenager, I've got my whole life ahead. Am I going to be like this forever, worrying about my hair? And my answer is no, if you don't let it, okay? And you're probably thinking, you know what, it's way easier said than done. But I can tell you, because I've been through the process myself, I've spoken to other guys who have been through that process themselves, and once they accept it, they sometimes look back at that period where they were worrying about their hair and they think, why did I let that worry me so much? So this is a hopeful message for you guys. One last point will be to talk to your other guy friends, okay? Sometimes they might poke fun or whatever, but I'm sure if done in a serious way, and if you approach the right people, you'll know the right people to approach and speak to if you have those people in your life, that you can speak to them about that issue. See what they say. They might be going through exactly the same thing you are, and they just need another brother to talk to about the situation. And then both of you together will come out of that negative state that you're in. But that was the message from me, guys. I thought I've not actually targeted teenagers specifically, and I suppose my message is for everyone, right? But teenagers in particular, because I think you are in such a sort of vulnerable stage of your life anyway, and sometimes hair loss on top of that can make it even more vulnerable. And especially when you're at a young age, because you have these stereotypes of what a young person should be, and everything that you've been told is that a young person shouldn't be bold. Okay, so that's why I wanted to spread this message, particularly for teenagers today. And it's a hopeful message. If you're in that situation, you can come out of it. You're not going to be in that situation forever. If you've got any questions, guys, put them in the comments below. I'll be happy to answer them. And I hope that helps. I'll see you next time.